So hello everybody, welcome back. I hope that you like this series. You might want to watch it from the beginning. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself with certain tips or whatever. I do not know if I have mentioned this before because like I told you in a lot of videos, I do not do anything by script. And I get a lot of interruptions all of the time and I might miss something. So, having said that, grab your coffee and your notebook, and if you wanted to share a coffee with me while you're at it, links for that down below. And if you wanted to take a look at any of my books, links for that down below. And anyway, here we go. So, many people in the US and in the UK use spray oil for cooking. This is an item that is a luxurious thing. During hard times, you are not getting that. And not only you are not getting that, but it's very expensive, short term, medium term, and even long term. And it's very convenient. So how do you manage when you want to have the convenience, but you don't have that? So people in Latin countries or African or countries that do not have the spray thing will just take the bottle of oil and put it like that with a paper napkin, then place a little bit, put it back in, and then this napkin can be used for up to 2 days, sometimes depending upon how you store it and depending upon what you are using the oil for and depending upon the amount of oil you do take this thing. So, then you take this thing and you just put it into whatever it is, the surface that you're cooking into. This will allow you to save oil, and at the same time, it will allow you to understand how much oil you have left. Because if you buy the spray oil in a can, the can is not transparent, which means that you do not know how much oil you have left. And so, by looking at it, I mean. And so if you're going shopping and then, most people will just go kind of open all of the drawers and all of the closets and then see what they have and then they run. And if your package is filled or empty, but it is not transparent, you will think that you have the item and then you will not buy it. Because you're like, I saw the cooking oil in the closet, so I know I have it. Yeah, except that the cooking oil doesn't have anything on it. And so, not having something that is transparent will affect your shopping. And so it will also affect your storage because cooking oil that you have in a liter versus the one that you have in a can, is not even comparable in terms of the amount of times that you can use it. And also in terms of how much frequently do you need to buy it and things like that. And so if you want to avoid all of that, there is an alternative, which is that you buy the spray bottles, different sizes, as in small, medium, and big. You label them and then you put oil in it, like olive oil, cooking oil, sesame oil, and other kinds of oil. And this will also be good for when you're preparing salads or when you need to put something on surfaces that are for eating directly, like when you're putting a special salad or a special dessert. Sometimes people will use sweet kind of oil. And by the way, this sweet oil, you're probably not going to buy it. You're probably going to have to make it yourself. And this sweet oil, you can pour it with a spoon, or you can use a spray bottle and then put it like a dessert, and it's amazing. And so you might need to buy these spray bottles with adjustable kind of the tip, so that the hole will be big enough to carry the oil, because oil is thicker than water or than the liquids that are meant to be in these spray bottles. So you might need to buy quality items in this part. If you buy cheap things, you will lose the items that are inside, and it will be stuck in the worst possible moments, and then you will be frustrated when you are doing things. So the best way is to get the best quality items in terms of the spray bottles. I have mentioned this before, because frustration in the kitchen is bad. Mostly because you will be in a hurry, or maybe other people are cooking with you, and then so it's important. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about conveniences and other things like this is that it is a trap. It is an economical trap. So what does that mean? I want you to think and write down the top 10 major ethics when you're cooking, and major ethics when you are dealing with things related to the kitchen. Ethics as in everyday threats and inconveniences, mostly inconveniences when you are doing the kitchen. Let's see. Number one, most women will always complain that kitchen work takes a hell of a lot of time, like forever. I mean, think about 100 years ago, doing laundry will take you 2 full days out of the week. 2 full days out of the week just to do laundry, until there was the washing machine and things like that. And so time-consuming things in the kitchen, it's annoying. If you wanted to, for example, make bread, yeast you needed to make by yourself, and so making yeast can take up to a week. I'm not saying that it will take 1 week of work. I'm saying that it's a process that you cannot do in 10 minutes. It's a process that you have to do one day, and then you have to do it the other day, and then you have to continue doing it the next day. And every day you have to spend like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour doing the freaking yeast. And so it's a time-consuming thing. And so most women will complain about this. This will be taken advantage of by companies and by people that are entrepreneurs. For example, there was in the early 19th century, I think it was 1920 or 1918 or around that area, there was a guy who was unemployed, and he decided to help in the kitchen, because he understood, I mean, come on, if you don't have a job and you're a man, or maybe you're taking a vacation, and then this is the first time that you're going into a kitchen. I mean, a man going into a kitchen for the first time, the man will go, oh, no. And so, this guy he decided to help his wife with the cooking process, and then he realized that all the pans were crazy. I mean, because you see, during hard times and early times, like a century ago, we didn't have a lot of choices in terms of pans for cooking. First of all, there was no glass for cooking. This was an invention that was very like later. It's not something that happened like 200 years ago. Everybody had to cook with iron. That was the only thing. But now we have Teflon, we have iron, we have ceramics, we have electronics, we have rice cookers, we have a lot of choices. But in the early 19th century, we didn't have a lot of choices, and so you cooking with iron, it was annoying. Only iron, it was annoying. You try to cook, try to fry eggs in an iron cooking thing, versus a Teflon, or try to maybe what we call the potato tortilla thing that we make here in Spain. I think they do it in Spain, by the way, because we in Latin countries, we think it's a Spanish recipe. And try to do that with an iron cooking thing. Oh my God, good luck with that. And so, oh my God, seriously, this man realized that it was insane that, we needed to have aluminum and other things for cooking, because cooking everything in the same material, it will be just stupid. The problem is that, of course, when you are saying something like buy a Teflon thing, and this is a new item, most women will go like, no. No, especially if you are talking about the 19th century, because remember there was a big recession in the 19th century in the beginning. And so this whole thing was a mess. I mean, we needed new things, but nobody wants to invest and nobody wants to do a lot of things, and we are wasting a lot of time in the kitchen. And so this guy said, oh no, we can cook in aluminium, we can cook with this material, we can cook another one. So, but it's just insane, and nobody wanted to buy it, even though that it was very useful and it was a very good idea. And so he decided to ask his wife, what else do you want to complain? Oh my God, never ever, I suggest if you're a guy, never ever ever ask a woman what does she want to complain about, because you will have an endless list. So no, but this guy was patient. Quite frankly, he deserved a trophy for listening to I have the crap. So the guy was in the kitchen and he understood that cleaning the iron material things, it was my God, it was very tiring, annoying, and all kinds of things, especially with the grease and everything. And then he decided to create what we call the SOS thing, which is the wife says, save our saucepans, because, quite frankly, it's annoying. So he put a lot of soap into an iron thing so that you can clean iron with iron, and then he put it again and again and again and again and again and again and again until the thing was oversaturated with the soap, and so now you have a soapy kind of sponge thing, and then you can clean easy. And so cleaning things in the kitchen, it is annoying, and it takes a lot of time also. And so every time that there is a problem, you have, if you offer a convenient solution that saves times and things like that, most people will go for it. Unless, it is something too dramatic, like you changing your saucepans versus, buying a new one that you do not know. You're kind of like, not so much. But there are things that are easier, like you changing a sponge is easier, because, the guy will say, hey, you do not soap anymore. Okay, you got it. And so the guy did this, to be able to promote the saucepans that he was making. He created this, and he said, oh, if you buy me these saucepans, I will get you the sponge for free. And so, but the sponge was, so, people was buying the sponge more than the saucepan. So at the end of the day, the saucepan thing was just like not happening anymore. And so most women at that point in the 19th century decided that it was not worth it. Meaning, just cooking all together and being in the kitchen and being in the laundry room is just not worth it, because it is too much time and it is too much work. And not only it is too much work, but you need a lot of things, a lot of options, and you need a lot of tricks in order for you to do things properly with the proper saucepans, because like I told you, it's not the same you frying eggs in a Teflon thing rather than doing it in an iron cauldron or something like that, or doing it in other conveniences things. I keep getting interrupted. So anyway, like I was saying, every time that there is a problem, there is somebody that will offer a solution. The problem with this is that the solution may or may not cover a lot of aspects that are important when you are connecting to the activity or the situation or the item that you are trying to solve related to the problem. Meaning, okay, so women are complaining about not having time because kitchen cooking time is too much and things like this. And so now people will come up, mostly men, they will come up with devices for helping you do the dog. So rather than you making the dog by hand, now there is a machine that can do it. There is a machine that will heat things for you, like the microwave. There is a dishwasher machine. There is, all kinds of machinery. And I do mean all kinds of machinery. So this, in turn, means that you're spending more money, short term, medium term, and long term, in the kitchen. I'm going to try to explain this one. Time means money, and then you are saving time, but you're spending more money. And so the time that you're saving, if it is not spent in things that are making money, and if you're not spending this time into things that are actually important, like you, for example, going to a gym and doing exercises, or you writing your novel, or you writing your poetry and your journal and your things, and having your mental health okay and things like that, then this time that you have now free is costing you money, and it is costing you a space in your kitchen. Because if before you only needed the iron pans, but now you have different kind of pans and things like that, then you need more space. Not only that, but you also need more time cleaning. And not only that, but you also need, you will have less space for things that are important, because you cannot occupy, the same space with two or more things. And so now you will need more organization. Organizing a kitchen, if you do it from the start, it's not going to take a while. But if you have to do it and redo it because you haven't found the specific type of organization that fits your lifestyle and everything, it will cost you more time. And the devices will break. The devices will need consumables, or they will need spare parts, or they will need electricity. So if there is no power, you will have issues. And it's a whole thing. And so if you have a kitchen that is very convenient, but you do not have motor skills, meaning you do not know how to do the dough by your own hands, then if it is the first time that you're doing it, you are going to have a hard time. And if your hands are like with arthritis or something like that, then you will have even more issues now. Because now you will need more money, because you will actually need these devices rather than just having the option to have it just because you don't want to waste time. And then there is the other side effect of these things, which is that if you don't need to do it, then, like I said, you will lose the motor skills to do it. There are people that literally do not know how to use a lemon presser, and they think that the lemon presser is a strainer. There are people that do not know how to take care of kitchen scissors. It's like, what? Yeah, because scissors in the kitchen are a specific type of scissors, and most people do not know. Most people are like, yeah, we can use any kind of scissor. No, especially if you are going to make clothing or something like that. Those are scissors that you will never ever use for something else, because then they will break. I mean, they will never be used for clothing again. And there are a lot of things that you will miss, meaning you are missing recipes from old times. You are missing the motor skills. You are missing the tips about how to clean this thing faster and better, because, you just put it in the dishwasher. But what about if you cannot use the dishwasher? Then how do you do this by hand? And there are a lot of things that are related to kitchen that during hard times, or you going through a countryside versus you spending time in the city, which, in the city you will typically have more and more and more devices. This is also going to be an issue in terms of you spending more time, because whatever time you're thinking that you're saving by using the device, you are actually spending that time cleaning the device. Because, let's say that you need a blender. The blender, if you're going to clean it properly, you are going to have to disarm it. And if it is an old blender, it will have like 3 or 4 or 5 types of things, including the O-rings and things like that. And then, You will need to have, to use more chlorine and things like that, because the O-rings are always going to be moldy and they will catch fungus and things like that. And then you will need to get other stuff to deal with fungus. And then you will need more things, and you might not even know, because most people just rinse things. They don't even clean them, because if you don't have time to cook, let alone you're not going to spend 1 hour trying to clean one device, but the device needs half an hour for you to clean it. There are a lot of devices that spend half an hour, particularly certain food processors and things like that. And so you are having a lot of side effects from the complaints that we have in terms of the kitchen. And if you do not know how to do these things by heart and by hand, and by tips related to your grandmother's time and things like that, it's going to be more expensive. And if it is going to be more expensive, this is going to put a strain, another one, by the way, on your relationship if you have a husband. Because if you have more time on your own, but this time is spent in things that are not productive, or at least they are not producing money, which is very, very, very important, then this will also consume you more time, and it will also piss you off one way or another one. And we as women, when we are pissed off, we try to control it, manage it, or whatever, but it will build into resentment, and then somehow you will blow it up, with someone. And I do not need to tell you that the kitchen is going to be a thing that is going to be annoying, because even if you love cooking, if you cannot use the devices that you are used to, because there is no power, and then you have to do everything by hand, and then you do not know how to do these things, it will one way or another one make you feel different. Because when things are easy, you can like them, but when things are hard, you might actually avoid them or despise them, or both. And there is another side effect for this, which is that during the times in which you have to do everything by hand, and time is spent properly in the kitchen, then you are actually careful and you're choosing things from scratch. And this will make things more natural, and it will make them more nutritious. But if you keep buying things that are ready to to put it in the microwave, the food will have different tasting, and the energy that you're getting for the food will be different, and the health overall on you will be affected, which means that the difference between a family that is healthy and a family that is not healthy is the woman. I'm serious here. Is the woman. The reason being that the woman is the one that is usually buying things, is usually complaining about not having time, and is usually picking things that are more microwave and more convenient and instant and a lot of things. And if you keep doing this for your kids because you want to spend more time with your kids are not getting the knowledge to how to use scissors in the kitchen properly, how to do things analogically, meaning without electricity. And they are missing the motor skills. They are also missing the time, because if you're going to cook something, without the devices, versus you cooking things with the devices, you're thinking, okay, this thing is going to take half an hour. Yeah, but that is if you have the devices. If you don't have the devices, it will take you 3 hours to cook them. And those differences in time are going to take a toll on your stress level. And also if you have kids, all over the place with you and things like that. And a lot of machinery that you are, that is for the kitchen will have blades, which means that having kids around might be dangerous for them, because the device, you might have it on, and then the kid might just put the finger in there or whatever, and the device is on. The device doesn't know that you have, your kid around. And so, but if it was analog, you can use, hide the blade. But if it is not analog, you cannot hide the blade. And so you will have all kinds of hidden things related to the kitchen. And they are all costly. And the problem is that you are not realizing that you are paying this price because you probably did not compare the two of them. Or you probably do not know that there is another way of doing things. And also, if there is, like I said, hard times in which there is no water, or there is no power, or in which you have no money, let's say that you want to cook something and then you don't have money, but you have food and you have everything. What happens if the things in your house start breaking, and then you have the thing, you have enough food and everything, but you don't have the devices because you can't find a spare part, or you can't replace the devices, and then you can't cook them. And you don't know how to cook them. Because let's say that you bought a lot of instant potatoes, but they're all microwave. Or instant popcorn, for example, they are microwave. Yeah, but there is no microwave because the microwave broke or whatever. And so how are you going to cook that? So you have the food, but you can't cook it because unfortunately, you made it so that it's only convenient and it's not meant for you to spend a little bit of more time. And you are also missing family time together. Meaning, I have mentioned this before, one of the things that it's quite important is everybody cooking together, one way or another one, or at least eating together, or at least both. And this is why, it also shows manners, because when you are in the table and you are going to help cleaning, it is part of you being courteous with other people. And it will help you also with teamwork and all of that. But if you don't have any of that, because all you have is convenience, then you are missing the emotional connection. You are missing the mental connection. And if you're missing that, then you just lost respect for the entire family. You also lost unity. So there is a lot of things that you need to take into consideration, and if you are the woman, you are the one who is probably going to be able to solve this. Because men will just not take a look at this the same way that you do. The reason being that men will actually make money on their time. They're going to be kind of like, yeah, I can eat raw noodles because I'm working and I'm fine. And I'm working, I'm making money, so I'm fine. But you as the woman, you go, I'm making raw noodles, okay. So what about my free time? Yeah, if you're thinking that you're a woman and you can say, I have free time. God, please write about it or say about it and then sell the freaking secret about you having free time. Because if you do, oh my God, I'm sure that all women will probably even, be friends with you. And oh my God. Oh, and then we can make a whole club about it. And then, we will probably be always like, that woman's method, oh my God. No, hell no. 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 Women will not take a look at this the same way as a man. Men will go, I'm drinking my coffee, and I can care less if the house is on fire. Women will go, I can't even drink my freaking coffee alone. Oh my God, I'm dying here. And then it's because you're actually drowning in a glass of water. That's because you're a woman, by the way. You can blame being a woman, but it's okay because you can be saved by the guy. Most guys will be able to save you from yourself. I mean, there are guys that will go, when a guy understands that women are crazy, the guy will go, no, calm down, breathe, take the freaking coffee and put it in, let's just go outside and drink it outside. If you're thinking that the house is on fire, then just go outside and drink it with me. a guy will take charge of you, and then things will be stable and things will actually be better. But that is if you have, a guy that actually understands that, women are crazy, and it's just that we are so cute while we're doing it that is worth it because we're cute. A guy being crazy, not cute. So, it's different. And so this will be noticed a lot in terms of how you handle the kitchen and how you handle the food, the recipes. In fact, how you handle things, it can be so different from family to family that some families will go, I'm not telling you my secret recipe because it's a secret thing, and it is so bad that even during the 18th century, if you as a woman discovered some sort of way to preserve food, yeah, that is like you having a patent that you will never ever ever have anybody else even taking a look at it, because it is a thing that makes you better than everybody else, and it makes your family stronger and better than all of the families. So you are not sharing that. So you are not sharing the recipes, you are not sharing how to do things unless they are with your daughters, not even daughters-in-laws, just daughters. And it's a thing about women. And oh my God, it's crazy. And then when fathers do it, fathers will go, son, I hope you can pass this information to your son. It's a father-son thing, and it's a family tradition, and you are not allowed to say it to anybody, not even no yeah. So it is a thing, and all of that is being lost because of convenience. And the reason for that is because, yeah, sometimes guys should not ask what's wrong with you, because like I said, it's an endless list.